Good people. Just setting up. Okay. Start. All right. Good evening. Welcome to On the Throne. I am the Game Queen, and tonight's episode is going to be dive into the transformative power of storytelling, poetry, and transparency in art. Um, while we'll be blending fun games and meaningful conversations. So tonight we have a special guest, and she is ready to come in, y'all. She's ready to come in. When she comes in, I'm going to introduce her. Just making sure y'all can't see it. We're going to introduce her, but I want to introduce the show. So let's give it up. I'm going to bring her in now. I think I invited you in. Oh, I didn't invite. Sorry. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guest. I have invited her in. When she comes in, I'm gonna tell you who she is. We're gonna have fun. Tonight's gonna be a fun episode. I got some questions for her, some games to play. Oh, I invited you. I'm gonna do it one more time. Let me see if it'll work. Should let you in. Uh-oh. Hold on. Unable to join. Oh, let's do this again. It should let you in. Hold on. Try it again. One more time. One more time. I know you. We gotta get you in here. We gotta. There you go.
Okay. All right. I can't see you, but it's okay. We
You
rocking with it.
can't.
No.
Oh, what is happening? Are you on like a computer, or are you
I'm on my phone.
on your phone? You should be able to
Yeah.
see me.
I could jump off and try to jump back in if that makes it better.
Yeah, you wanna try that?
Yeah, I'll try
All
that.
right. Yeah, yeah. Because we need to see. We need our guests to see me and me see my guests, because I don't know, I'm really big on my facial expressions. A lot of people be like, "Oh, girl, your facial expressions be really telling the story." So I want my guests to be able to see me. I don't know why I just. But welcome. You are on the throne with the Game Queen. You can see me. Yeah, my guests can see me. I don't know what's happening. I mean, my the everybody in the chat room could see me, but my guests couldn't see me. So she went out. She's gonna come back in. I mean, we'll get this episode going. But for all of y'all that are here, this is On the Throne. Hopefully, you saw my advertisements about On the Throne. I'm the Game Queen. I specialize in hosting games and stuff like that. So I decided to put together a show where I have special guests and I interview them, but we play games. So I hope you can see me now.
I can see you, girl.
Woo!
Yes,
We
we in
got it.
business.
Okay. I was like, go out and go in, because I was telling everybody I want you to be able to see me because my facial expressions sometimes tell it all. And
Yeah, and that's how we're gonna talk. That's
that's how
another
we're
way
gonna
we're gonna
talk.
communicate with the
Yeah,
eyes,
right,
right?
right.
We
I was
here.
like, facial expressions, it tells it all sometimes.
Exactly. The story.
But y'all, we got Sincerely L tonight. She don't understand.
Mm,
Sincerely L, you don't understand. I invited
I'm
you because I saw you perform. Myself, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love your poetry. I love how you perform your poetry. You're beautiful. So I've talked to you outside of that as well. Not a lot, but enough to know you got a beautiful soul. So I had to invite you in. We've been reaching out a little here and there
excited.
through social media. You told me some things that happened with you, and like that. So that's another reason why I wanted you to come in, so you
Mm-hmm.
can talk to everybody, and the vulnerability of what life brings, and your experiences and how you handle those experiences and how, things like that. So your introduction ain't finished. We're gonna I got a couple of tidbits I wanted to share based on what I know. So we got, you are a published author. You
Yes.
have a book. What's the name of your
My
book?
book is Sunflower Soldier, and I published that in 2021.
2021. So
Yeah.
she's a published author, and I'm about to read a couple of reviews because I wanted to get the book. Now, let me tell you this. I gotta be honest with you. I wanted to get the book so I could read it ahead of time, but
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't have time. But you don't have it in ebook. Can you put it in ebook? Or maybe you do have it in ebook and I just didn't
I
see
don't
it.
have an ebook, but I'm gonna put it in the ebook.
Okay, because that's
Yeah,
I wanted to let you
I
know if
need
you had
to. I
ebook, I
need
would have been on
to.
my train
Yeah.
like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Be like, let me go to Kindle. I should have. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna get on that.
So add that so I can ebook you. But I am still gonna get the book to support.
Of course,
But these
I
are a
appreciate
few
it,
these are a few
regardless.
reviews. Someone said the words in this book fit together better than pieces to a puzzle. Each page leaves you wanting to read more. You may even catch yourself stuck on a page for a few minutes, lost on the words. Definitely a good thing to get your hands on. Another review, one more review. This book is such an amazing read. The way she writes the words holds so much power. My favorite poem is Broken Balance Beam. That really spoke to me and so relatable for what I was personally going through. Only way to check it out is to buy it. You won't regret. So I had to give y'all some of these reviews I was looking at and share them with
Yes.
you because you got to get the book. All right. So again, next, you're a spoken word artist. We're going to talk
Mhm.
about you competed in slams, of
Yes.
course, quite a few
A
slams,
few.
but
Mhm.
the biggest one was which
Yeah.
one?
The Woman of the World Poetry Slam that was in Baltimore in 2024 in March.
And you placed 50 among 96 people. Not
Yes.
no, not people, women around the
Women.
world, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
The world. Not around New Jersey, not around Philly, not even around the tri-state area. Around the world, y'all. She placed 50 out of 96 around the world. So kudos to you for that one. I'm telling y'all, we talking to somebody tonight. And you're also a curator and host.
Yes.
You have Poetic Aptitude LLC, and you got the Poetry Unleashed open mics.
Mm-hmm.
You have some other things. I saw some things coming out that you were working on, some more open mics and things like that. You want to share that with us real quick?
Yeah, I had Poetry Unleashed, a showcase and open mic. Me and Just Ace host that. And I also, under Rhymes and Rotations, I started a showcase I'm curating called Poetry and Friends Affair. So it's just a showcase that showcase different creatives, poets, music artists, some hip hop in there. It's a twist of all of that up in there. And then also we're going to start something called Bars and Brunch soon, and that's gonna be like on Saturdays, and it's just gonna be just like entertainment, games, and just like some mimosas in there,
Yes, some
you
laid back shit,
know,
the chill vibe,
yeah,
just
it's like
having
a
some
little
fun.
day
I
party
got you.
vibe.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But yes, so that's Layla. That's some of Layla.
Mhm.
We're gonna know more of Layla soon. Well, right now, so we're gonna play a game. We're gonna
Okay,
play a game. You ready for the first game?
I'm ready for the first game.
All right. Real easy. I would think it's
Okay.
easy, but then again, we'll see. All right. So the first game is we call word association challenge. I know you've seen people do this. I'll give
Okay.
you a word.
Hmm.
I'll just give you a word, and there will be different categories. I'll give you words from, and you just give me something that you would associate it with.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you what the category is first, so that way you can say, okay, this is based on, for example, the first category is going to be poetry and spoken word. So in the
Okay.
area of poetry and spoken word, I'm going to give you some words and you give me feedback. You ready?
I'm ready.
My word, and then it'll be your word. Okay?
Okay.
All
Hmm.
right. First word, vulnerability.
Um, Tears.
Ears. Ooh. Healing. That's a
Um,
good
th-
one.
Therapy.
Therapy. Okay.
Therapy.
Metaphor.
Similes.
Okay. Rhythm.
um, Dancing.
Okay. Slam.
Tens.
Tens. Oh,
Tens. Tens.
all tens across the board.
Attempting tens. That's you.
All right. Flow.
Um, hustle.
Hustle. Okay. Hustle
Hustle.
and flow.
Flow,
All right.
hustle, flow.
Expression.
Um, transparency.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Okay. Voice.
Authentic.
Verse.
Stanzas.
Okay.
Something
And
like that.
we said transparent for one,
Oh
but
yeah. Okay.
transparent. No, it's got transparent.
Um, open.
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 Okay. All right. So our next category we're gonna go to, and for everybody that's here, if you got a word, I want to incorporate some words that y'all have too. So put it in the chat. So
Jumping
we
the
see some words.
gun.
Yes, jump on in. If you got some words you want her to um
Oh yeah. Throw some out.
associate.
Yeah, yeah. Throw
My
some
mind
out.
going
Throw
blank.
some
You
out.
got words you want her to associate, put it in the chat. I'm actually gonna kind of piece them into this one. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So the next category is empowerment and community. All right.
Okay.
Ooh, love.
Self.
Okay. Words.
Smith.
Okay. Impact.
Um, Audience.
Okay. Inspire.
The Muse. That's a poet I know.
Oh,
Inspired me.
okay. See, that's what I said. Your words are
Inspired
your words, but
me.
that's why we play this game.
Yeah.
Unleashed.
A poetry.
Okay. Aptitude.
Talent.
Okay. Space.
Open. Like open space.
Open
Open
space.
space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connection.
Connection. Realness.
Realness. All right. We got a word. Dopeness.
Dopeness. Let me see. Oh, I wish there was a timer to be successful. Dopeness. I don't know, just be yourself. I guess like I don't know, individuality.
Okay.
I said it right.
Individuality.
Individuality.
Yes, we all are individually dope.
Pronunciation.
I see where you're coming with this.
Peace
You
and
right.
mercy. Pronunciation.
Where was I? Oh, okay. Oh, I said space connection,
Connection. Rawness.
rawness, light.
Um, Expression.
Okay. Oh,
Expression.
she said brown girl said you sis equals
Okay.
dopeness. Oh,
Back at
that's
you.
what's
Back at you.
up. All right, so we're
Appreciate
gonna go to the next category, which is fun and
fun.
random creativity. All right, so
Random
this these
creativity.
yeah, fun and random. Let's go.
Random.
Sunshine.
Anderson.
That was too easy.
Yeah, that was too easy. I was like, who gonna start first?
Ocean.
Blue. Yeah, blue.
Dream.
Catcher.
Okay. Petals.
Crash. I don't know why. I thought about like bike crash on the bike. I don't know, crash.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
gonna
that
talk about that one after we finish this one because
yeah,
I'm gonna remember that. Petals. You said crash. We gonna get a little deeper
yeah,
into
petals
that
and
one.
crash.
Universe.
Mine.
Okay. Freedom.
Liberate. I mean, well, liberation did. Freedom. Let me think of freedom. The day I quit my job. I don't know. That's more than one word.
That's all
That's like a
right.
whole phrase. The day I
Look,
quit my
we
job.
gonna do like Music Soul Child. We gonna
I should be like
rewrite it all together.
unemployment, but that's not good.
The
No
day I
unemployment.
quit my job, and it
Yeah, the day
becomes
I quit
one
my
word.
job. Freedom. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Okay. Art.
All right. Picasso.
Okay. Mirror.
Madison Ryan, because that's one of my favorite songs. And her name is Mirror. It's called Mirror.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Madison. I don't know Madison.
Wings.
Wing,
Wings.
like wings.
Wings.
Red Bull.
I'm done. I'm done.
Red Bull.
And canvas.
Canvas. Smile. This is
Smile.
smile.
Okay. Personal journey. This
Wait,
is
was
about
ratchet a word?
oh
Oh, I
ratchet.
thought
No, she just
brown.
said.
I
I
was
think
like
she.
Cardi B.
Oh,
I can give her a list.
ratchet. Okay,
All of them.
Cardi
Cardi
B.
B. Yeah.
Cardi B ratchet, y'all.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. So the next category would be personal journey. Philadelphia.
Personal. Philadelphia. The beginning.
Okay. Sunflower.
Beginning.
I think they said no sunflower.
Sunflower. Freedom.
Okay. Soldier.
Soldier. Survivor.
Okay. Resilience.
Resilience. Um, Positivity.
Okay. Growth.
Growth. Hmm. Forward.
Forward. Okay. Strength.
Strength. The gym. Gym.
Of course.
Planet Fitness. No judgment zone. Yeah, gym.
All right. Authenticity.
Authenticity. Authenticity. What do I think? Expression. Well, I mean, I feel like if you're saying the same thing, but expression. Yeah,
Oh, you
express
can
yourself.
say yeah. Some of
Yeah.
them are. You can say the same. All right, and we got one last category I'm gonna do is competitions and performances. Words based on
Okay.
competitions and performances. Stage.
Um, Fumble. Well, don't fumble. Fumble. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that one. Mike.
Yeah, don't fumble. Mike. Mm, Projection.
Okay.
Projection.
Crowd.
Crowd. Participation.
Participation.
I feel
Now,
like
as a
my
game
mind is just
queen,
filling in
I
blanks.
love that would have been my word. Crowd participation. I like everybody to
Participation.
participate. As
Yeah.
if Brown Girl still here, ask her. I'll be making her. She'd be like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do this, but I make her participate. All
Mm-hmm.
right, slam.
Slam. Um, Realness. Realness.
All right, charm.
The city.
Okay,
Charm City.
charm city. Passion.
Passion.
That word.
Um, Passion. I think of music when I think of passion.
Music. Yes. World.
World. Um, I don't know why I was gonna say hunger. Yeah, hunger. I don't know why world. See,
That's
it's just
right.
like filling in the blanks, just random
Yes,
behind blanks.
my words,
Yeah,
your words backing up, so that's associated in some kind
yeah.
of way. It is poetry,
Poetry. Mm, Books.
books, and last one, compete.
Armageddon. Armageddon.
Armageddon.
War. A friendly war.
Okay,
Friendly war.
hopefully friendly. Some
Friendly
wars don't
war.
be friendly.
Yeah, some don't.
All right, so see, I told you my games ain't too hard. Some
Yeah, I
people, I
got
had
it.
a
I
couple
got
people
it.
come on and say, "Oh, what I'm about to do." I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I could
Always
be
nice. Yeah.
competitive, but I'm trying to be nice.
My brain appreciated it
Yeah,
the most.
but
Mm-hmm.
see, it was kind of a work. Like, okay, she's making me think, but it ain't
Yeah.
hard. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
there was no wrong answer to that, none at all. It was just
Yeah.
filling you out. Great, great. So
Mm-hmm.
the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna spotlight you. We're gonna talk about some things about Sincerely L.
Okay.
So the first thing is I want to know what was your inspiration in the process behind Sunflower Soldier.
Um, when I was writing Sunflower Soldier, I started it during the pandemic. And I think I was like everybody else, I was just going through stuff. And I've always written poetry since I was like a young girl. It was like seventh grade and like sixth, seventh grade. So it was just like I guess for me it was just like the light in the darkness. Like a light in a dark place, and it's like very gentle. Like my poetry in that book is like very gentle. It's like a gentle hug. So I just wanted to give people like a piece of me, and I wanted to like leave a piece of me in the world too
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Oh, okay.
it's
That's
such
what
an
that's
artist.
what I really want to know with that. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna read that book.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read
okay.
the
I got you. Next
role.
time I see you, I got
Okay.
you.
All right. Listen. No, let me buy it from Amazon because I told you I was on there. It's in my cart. I'm getting
Okay.
it.
All right. All right. Cool.
All right. No, I gotta support. I'm gonna get it in the cart. All right, so let's talk about your role of vulnerability and transparency in your poetry. I'm wondering if this is where we're going to talk about, if we can.
Hmm.
It's up to you. The experiences that you've had recently, because I've seen that you've done some poems related to some experiences that you just recently had. If you want to talk about that, I would.
Are you talking about my stop
Yes,
signs poem?
stops.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
signs, yeah. So when it came to that poem, it's funny. The poet in the chat, Fletch, I was like actually on the phone with him when I was like thinking about the poem and everything, and I don't know. I think it was just like something I experienced that I just never figured. Like like you go through certain things. Like it wasn't like hostile. Like they didn't like throw me against the car or nothing like that. Like I was crying a lot, so they probably was like scared to even like deal with me a certain way because as a black African American woman, 3 a.m. in the morning on 295 in the dark, and they take me to the boarding town. It's like it's kind of scary. It was scary. So I just felt like in that moment I understood what it. You see things on television. You see when as an African or just women what women experience sometimes when it comes to police brutality and how it's taken lightly and stuff, and I just wanted to tell people my story to inspire them. And that's just what I came up with because it was real, it was raw. Because even like when I speak about my father or like just like being in a relationship with someone, like they pull you over for their benefit and like what's going in their pocket, but they never think about like the everlasting like issues they
Yeah,
leave with like people.
yes.
And they don't think about it
Imprint.
because like
The imprint
yeah,
they put on people
yeah.
is like they don't realize that.
And it's
Whether it's a
like you
good or you whether
can't
it's a
fight the
good or a
court
bad stop.
system.
Whether it's
Yeah.
good or bad. So yeah, no, I mean no stop is good, but you know what I mean. Whether
Nah.
nothing came
Mm-mm.
from it or whether something did come from it, it still has an impression on you.
Yeah.
So that's why I said when you reached out to me and you were we were talking about that, I did really feel that. I was like, wow, I can I know
Yeah. And then and I feel like
especially
it's hard in the court system. Is like just a woman in general. They looking at you like, all right, we're gonna handle this and move her to the side. And
mm,
they handled me like that after everything was said and done. They still handled me, pushed me to the side, and
mm,
said it was reckless driving and stuff. I mean, I don't care. I'm saying my business, but they said it was reckless driving. And in my head, I was like, I wasn't even recklessly driving, but it just shows you still they
mm,
can't just let you off innocent. It's like as a black person, you just never innocent. Like it's just always something, and it's like I'm not that type of person. I don't act up. I'm not gonna fight with the cops and nothing like that. So, I just felt like that needed to be said, and I hope one day the officers they see that junk. I shouldn't put their name in it, but
yeah,
it's
should
just
have did
that's
a
been too.
tag. You should have
Yeah,
found
that's
the
a
name.
little
You should have
too
did a
much.
tag. They
But
gonna get a
yeah,
hold of it.
yeah,
Officers
one
gonna
day
get a hold of
they'll
it.
see it.
With
It will hit
social
their
media,
eyes when it's
it
meant
will
to
get to
be.
them. It will get to
Yeah.
them. Oh man, oh man. So outside of that, for your role in your transparency in your poetry, from where's it gonna take you? Like where are you feel like you're headed with your poetry now?
Um, I feel like my poetry now is it's just I guess um the rooms that it's meant to be in like my voice I'll be there, but as far as like with my transparency, I don't know where it's gonna take me. I mean, hopefully it takes me to like to more places where I can help people heal with my voice and stuff like that because I do talk about a lot of like topics that I feel like people are afraid to talk about, just like as far as like dealing with emotions and like griefs and like different
Mhm.
traumas and stuff. So like wherever it does end up, I just hope it ends up like helping like people, and just in general,
Okay, okay.
I'm just out here trying to change the little world one day
One
at a
day
time.
at a
Yeah,
time,
one
one day at a time.
day at a
You should
time.
do. But you're doing good though. You're doing good. Um, Founding Poetic Aptitude LLC and hosting your events. We want to talk a lot about that. How when did you found when was Poetic Aptitude LLC founded? Is that
That was
very
in
beginning?
in 2020. I
Okay,
did
that was
poetic
what.
after
Okay.
2020. And poetic aptitude, well, aptitude just means it's another word for talent. I'm a thesaurus kid, opposed to just the dictionary. I was like, I just like to look through the source and pick fancy words for, basic words. So
Okay.
that was basically where I was going to publish like my book line under poetic aptitude. And I just never changed it. So that was my first LLC that I
Okay.
had. And then we were offered an opportunity to host. Me and Ace were offered the opportunity to host at the Camden Art Yards. And that's where we started to do Poetry Unleashed and whatnot. And then now we're gonna go to do it in Philly, starting February
Okay.
27th. And we're gonna do it. I believe it's Center City, and it's like it's a next in line comedy club, but it's like a venue anybody can use it for whatever, like theater and whatnot. So
Okay.
it's over there. It's like near Reading Terminal, like Center City area, near Fillmore and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
So we went from like the Camden Art Yards, which was only going to be like seasonal anyway. So we wanted to make it like all year.
Are you still doing
So
Camden? Are you still gonna do
mm-mm,
something? Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you stepped away from
yeah,
Camden and you're
yeah.
gonna
I
go to
think
Philly.
it was like a great opportunity, but sometimes I think being outside, you had to fight with Mother Nature too
Yeah, that's true.
much. It
That's
was
true.
like we were fighting with Mother Nature. Like it was like an amazing opportunity, but it was just like we were fighting with Mother Nature too
Yeah, because
much.
that was a beautiful. That's a nice venue. Like
Yeah,
that's a
it was
very nice venue.
beautiful.
Okay, okay. I just wonder if you would like here and there, maybe do some stuff there, here and there, maybe because
Yeah,
it's very.
maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what the future holds.
Right, right. So, but Center City, I can't even talk. Center City near Reading Terminal, so we can go eat
Yeah,
as
like
well in the
Spring
Reading
Garden
Terminal. Then we
area.
can go check out one of your shows. See, it's always a
Oh,
reason to go. It's always a
yeah,
reason to go.
yeah. You can eat before you come. You
You
can
can
eat
eat
there. You can eat
before,
afterwards. Like it's
yes.
your option, your
Grab a
choice,
plate, come on in there and be like,
your
yeah, let me
choice.
hear what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, because I don't have this on my itinerary because I just felt the need to go off a little bit on this. But as a
Um,
curator of events, because we're
can you ask the question again? At first, it went out for a little
oh,
bit. I didn't hear the first
sorry.
part of the
I
question.
said I no, I was saying I'm going a little bit off of my script.
Oh.
As a curator of events,
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel? What's your take on how would I say the amount of poetry, like events happening and
Like the amount of events. I think it's nice.
but as far okay, let me take it here. As far as curating events,
Mhm.
what's your experience and your take on curating events? Is it hard? Do you feel like it's harder than you thought it would be? Do you enjoy it?
Oh,
Do you enjoy it?
um, so I
And what are
enjoy
some of
it. I'm like,
the struggles of it? Is that's the question I'm gonna ask. So what are some of the struggles of it?
I think most of the struggles come the day of. I felt like everything seemed really copacetic until we got to the day, and I feel like sometimes that's when majority of majority of like situations happen. But I mean, altogether, like even when I did Poetry and Friends, I felt like it was just like it was an amazing event. Like my first one I did was amazing. I mean, there were some glitches behind the scenes, but I think what made it comfortable for me is like who I chose to like work alongside with.
Uh,
I was like kind of intentional with who I choose because I feel like sometimes like, you could put whoever you want in your events and stuff like that, and you can curate your events how you want, especially like when you select like the lineup sometimes. But for like my first like the Poetry and Friends affair, first of all, every single person on the lineup was amazing. They're amazing poets, amazing. They have amazing talent, but
mm,
they also were like such a big help, like as far as like like you want me to help you with this, you want me to help you with that. And I realized that like having a team was important. I don't really have a team. I have a real good tribe and support system, like always standing behind me. But as far as like curating events, I do think it's like amazing to see like what you envision in your head come alive. And I do think that's like the most rewarding thing from it is just like it comes alive in front of you. But I do think it's hard, like the behind the scenes, like promoting and like, keeping up and like contracts and just like, all of the other stuff is just like, it's
Yeah,
like,
I think
it be
biggest
draining.
thing, the biggest thing for us was the promotion, like just getting it out there, and I think that's like especially with social media, just making sure you're posting enough, making sure. I mean that was like I think the biggest
Yeah.
kind of
And it is
thing we
sometimes I
had.
think with so many things happening, like so many events, like it's amazing that so many events are happening. So sometimes even that can like you can get in your head about that. Like, there's so many things happening on this
Yeah,
day. But somebody told me that like, and I said to them too, I said, whoever is meant to be there will always be there. Like you'll always have support when your intentions behind your events are like genuine.
yeah,
You genuinely curate events. I do feel like you'll always have like the proper amount of support. I feel like you'll always have the right amount of people who show up just for just
yeah.
as you need and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough for everybody. There really isn't. Like you
Yeah.
said, you find your people. You find your, those that are meant to experience what you have for them to experience. So that was a good one. I like that one.
Because I've been to your events, especially like under like the Moroccan Collective. Like I've been going there like what a couple of years now, and like I feel like I always see like the same loyal people there.
Mm,
Like even like you guys
yeah.
just, I think what's his name, Will. You
Okay.
guys just featured Will. I think he just featured at the
Yeah,
last wedding
William
open mic.
Beck.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
But
yes.
I remember how he's always
Yeah,
there, and
he's
like I
so.
always enjoy his poetry. So it's like you know when you curate events, like when you're genuine people, like your people will always come for you.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
You're right about that. All right. So the experience of competing at the Woman of the World Poetry Slam and the Charm City Slam. Let's hear about that. What was it like? What was the process like?
So my first Adams, and she's like phenomenal as heck. Like she's top tier for real. So it was like an honor slamming against her, but in that type of slam environment, it's one against you go against the other person. It's not like usually sometimes it's like 12 people competing at one time and they rank it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I went against her. I didn't win. I didn't go to the next round, but it was okay. Some people they take that and they go home and they cry. I haven't cried yet. So because I feel like with slam, like it's amazing to show your art because even then you have your words have to line up with your actions and your performance and stuff like that. And like that's what I really thrive on, like even being vulnerable and like transparent in your pieces because oftentimes like if you want people know when you're telling a story that's like authentic. They know when you're like jiving them and stuff like that. So I just feel like I think it's like a beautiful expression of art, even though they are scoring it. And sometimes the scores get in the way of like our emotions and how we feel about our art. But so that's how I felt when I did Charm City the first time. But then I went to Women of the World Poetry Slam because my friend Aisha Hicks I met her and she told me like, oh, you should slam and you should do this X, Y, and Z. And I was like, me? All right, cool. So like I went to Baltimore. We showed up at Baltimore. It was 3 days. The one day you go in these bouts of
Mm-hmm.
six throughout the day in different locations, and you compete for 2 days straight. And then I think it's like 12 people make it to the final stage at the end of it. But all together, it's 96 women from like like all over the states, all over like people from like Canada, people from Africa, like people from all over. They come and compete, and they just like give their raw version of their poetry in front of people.
Yeah.
So and they rank us, and then I came 50, but I was fighting for my
You
life
was
though. Like you're
right.
not really fighting each other. You're not fighting each other, but you're like, you're trying to say
Yeah,
like,
you just trying to
who's
say,
up
let me get
here.
myself right. Let me get myself
Yeah.
to a level so I can
It's
prove
like we're
like I'm
all
better.
amazing,
Yeah.
but we still got, see, yeah. So that's I like slam though. I think it's fun. I mean, it's stressful coming up with like certain pieces and like metaphors and writing, but I think it's amazing, especially like if you want to like work on your stage presence just in general, if you want to ignore the scores and just like go there to work on like your presence and being comfortable moving
Yeah.
in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Another game. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm
So
ready.
this one's a fibbage. It's called fibbage. Pretty
Fibbage.
much almost like the word association, but it's more sentences, and you're just gonna fill in the blanks of the sentences. That's
Okay.
what we're gonna do for the next couple of minutes. All right.
Okay.
I have a few, so I'm gonna go through. I put a lot on here because I'm like, let's take some time and get to know you based on these sentences. All right. We're gonna start here. The title of Sincerely Elle's next spoken word piece might be
Um, broken pieces.
Broken Pieces.
Broken pieces.
Okay.
No. Yeah, broken pieces. Broken pieces. We're
Okay.
going with broken pieces.
Okay. Okay. If poetry was a sport, the referee would say, I don't know.
Um, if poetry was a sport, the referee would say, we don't have time to run it back.
Don't run that back.
We don't have time to run it
You
back.
only got 5 minutes.
You only got 5 minutes, no run backs. And you got to plug
I wish I
yourself
had a
in
whistle.
with that 5 minutes.
I
Don't
need a
run it
whistle.
back. Yeah.
Don't run it back.
They're like the audience don't want you to run if the crowd ain't nah. Don't run it back.
Oh man, okay. The most dramatic way to start a poem with to start a poem is with
um, I don't know. What's the most dramatic way to start a poem? I don't know. I feel like talking about somebody, like somebody. I feel like that's. I don't know, because I do it though. I do it. I feel like when you talk about like somebody like a grandmother or something, that'd be like the most dramatic way. Because I feel like instantly you like, damn, not grandma. Like you know what I'm saying?
that's real
But I
dramatic.
do
Like
that because I got a
you
call
trying to
when I'm talking
dig
about my
deep on
grandma. Yeah, I'm
that.
a hypocrite right now. But yes, I feel.
It's all right, but I said the most dramatic way. It doesn't have to be a bad, but it's dramatic.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
Vulnerability feels like blank, but ends up being blank.
Vulnerability be feel it's painful sometimes, but it ends up um I feel like vulnerability is painful, but I feel like it helps you address like inner issues, like inner demons, like darkness, inner darkness,
Mhm.
like inner issues,
Okay.
problems within yourself.
Okay. And the word that I'm thinking of is free. It's freeing.
Yeah,
I think
like liberate.
vulnerability
I was like,
winds
yeah,
up
like freedom, liberation type
freeing
stuff. Yeah,
because once
yeah,
you let go and you're
it's
vulnerable, you let
gone.
go of stuff. How much freedom is in that? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So a spoken word poet's secret weapon in a video game, because we this is games, would
Mhm.
be
Well, your pen could be the sword. I feel like
the
your
pen. You said,
notebook, yeah,
oh,
your
that's what.
notebook,
Okay.
that be a shield, the basic, shield.
Okay.
Um, I feel like your notepad, like your notes app and your phone, that
Yeah.
probably be like when you talk about all the people that you about to write a poem about. But like I'm saying, like that's all I'm saying. It's like
That's
we
your
put your
weapon.
strategy to drag
That's
people.
your
Yeah, get it together. But I don't know. That's it. That's. I mean, the mic stand, you could use that to whack somebody. I don't know. I feel like this got
Right.
violent. Yeah, I don't know. It's like you gotta defend yourself. You got the
Right.
mic
Right. Step
stand.
back. I got the. You got
You
right.
know, that, that's right there.
Okay. And this one. If poetry slams were in a game, the boss battle would be.
The boss battle. What
Mhm.
do you mean by that?
So,
Like,
all right. So, if poetry slams were in a game, because
mm-hmm,
I'm kind of mixing these questions with because I'm the game queen.
mm-hmm.
If you have a game and there's a at the end, you have your big battle. What would that battle be?
Like, who would it be in that battle?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I want to see that. What battle would I want to see? Huh? I want to see Rudy Francisco go against I feel like I was gonna say Black Chakra, but I feel like Rudy already went against Black Chakra in Charm City and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like Rudy would be in there. Rudy Francisco would be in a like a battle for me. As far as like the people I know, I'm gonna go with people I know. I'm
Okay.
gonna go people I know.
Okay.
So I would say just Ace, and not just because he's Ace. But, I would say just Ace. Um,
Good
I
answer. Good answer.
yeah. I would throw like the poet boy, Jovan McCoy. He's from
Okay.
Philly in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like if it was Jersey, I would throw like Roddy in there. My friend Kino, I would throw her in there. I feel like I don't know. I
Okay.
I know that's
Okay.
a hard question, Cam. That's a hard question.
All right. I know. That's I was like,
That's
oh,
all you
well,
got.
I
I feel
gotta take
like my
our break.
brain
Okay.
working. My
I
brain
stumped
working
you
now.
on one. I stumped
Yeah.
you on one. All right. These gonna be some fun ones though. Let me get to the fun
All
ones.
right.
The strangest metaphor of love is.
The strangest metaphor is of love.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's thought provoking.
Yeah. I don't know. You know why that's thought provoking? Because my poems be very like I don't really write poems about love, so I just be
Okay.
like,
All right. She was like, nah, I can't do. I don't know what the metaphor would be for that. Okay.
yeah. Can I use a cheat
What
sheet? Can I
you
use it?
want to
Can I phone a friend?
call a friend? Phone a friend.
Can I phone
Are
a
they
friend?
in the
Hold on, hold
chat?
on, hold on, hold on. Can I get what's the metaphor on love? Pain, love is pain. Okay, all right. Love is pain.
There you go. You called a
Mm-hmm.
you phoned a
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
That is a strange metaphor. That
Okay,
is.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
So,
have
what sincerely L is really thinking when on stage?
how long I gotta be up here. I be like, how long I gotta be up here. I also sometimes, depending on who in front of me, I'm like, dang, they about to get my head on a crazy angle. And then sometimes, I be insecure about my shortness of my arms. I call it T-rexia. But like I feel like people they be enhancing the T-rexia in me, Cam, and I just be like, you haven't. What happened? Like, what did I do in your dreams last night? Did I make it a nightmare? So, that's what usually I'm thinking. Or I'm like, dang, they said 5 minutes. I really just need two. I really just need two.
Yeah.
And then people be like, what's your Instagram? I was like, you can't do that. That's just a lot. It's just,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Your
all.
brain be on like
Yeah, it'd
you
be
be
on go. It'd be like, zoop. That's how I would have got off the stage. I'd be like, zoop. Yeah, that's how I
okay.
feel.
The advice that Sincerely L gives her future self.
To stop listening to everybody else's opinion based on your art and just do what you gotta do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you stressing, they're not gonna be here with their opinion. It's gonna be you and your opinion. So that's all that matters.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I'm a people pleaser. I got people pleaser issues.
Oh, I think I
Yeah.
do too. I do
You
too.
know,
Yeah.
somebody be like, you should do that. And I'd be like, should I? Yeah. I
Yeah.
do
You
it
just it
sometimes.
couldn't hurt, but then it hurt. And then you'd be like, damn, why I do
Mm,
it? I know. I know all too well.
CBC.
Sincerely L's favorite spot to write poetry is.
Um, my favorite spot to write poetry, I mean, other than my room, there is a park in I don't know if it's like Delanco or Delran, but it's called Pennington Park. And it's a trail, and you can go in the back of the trail, and there's like this bridge, but there's like this little path, and there's like like benches back there where you could sit. Or so like I'll sit back there on the benches near the water, or I'll sit in the gazebo at the very top of the park, and I'll write there. That's like only when the weather is good. Or
Mm.
like I'll find like a sunset in Burlington City at the waterfront, and I'll go sit over there and I'll write. Like when I really need to like focus on by myself and write, that's where I
That's a
go.
beautiful, quiet park too.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
nice.
is. Okay. Sincerely L always includes blank somewhere in her poems without intentional or not, whether intentional or not.
Um,
It's something you always include in your poems, and you realize, like, dang, I'm always putting that in.
mm, I feel like I'll always be like, I say so too much. I say so. I be like, but. I be like, I just use a lot of words, like additional words I don't gotta use. Um, mm, I feel like I say the word body too much, just because I like to say the word body with my little Jersey twang, my voice. What else? That's about it. I just use a lot of words I don't need to use. I talk about a lot of the same things also in my poetry. So one day I'm gonna work on like stepping outside of that box as well. Yeah,
Okay, but see, you're being true to you. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that feeling. It'll eventually through life experience. It'll eventually.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know about that. All right, last one. The one word Sincerely L refuses to use in her poetry is
Ooh, any cuss words?
no cusses.
No, no curses. I don't curse. I can't curse. The
Okay.
one word, not even damn. Like I can't
I mean,
even say I can't curse in the poetry. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
okay.
a lot of people they'll say, "Oh, you should say this and the third," and I be like, "No, I can't curse. My
You
mama
can't
might
say
hear that." Like I'm very much that person. Yeah. Like my mama might hear that. I'm
yeah,
grown,
mama.
but still, yeah. So any
I know
profane
you grown as
language,
I don't know why. You be like,
any
still
of those
got
words on the list, you ain't gonna hear come out my mouth. I don't care if it's a slam. We in a slam team. You might as well put me out that little act because I ain't doing it.
put me in the good section
Yeah, I'm like,
because I'm
put
not
me in the
cussing.
bag. I'll do some moves or something, but I ain't cussing. My mama might see that. I care. I care about her reaction.
Okay, okay. All right, so we're almost to the end, and of course, I think I sent this to you. I want to hear one of you. I want to hear you spit.
Okay, of
Let me
course.
give you. Let me give you some
So,
minutes.
so, so,
Just
so,
spit a little something, something.
so. All right. So, let me back up. Well, y'all can't see my T-Rex here this
Yeah.
today. Maybe when y'all
So
sitting on
yeah, so
stage.
that's not on your
Yeah,
mind.
that's not on my
That can't
mind.
be on your
All
mind.
right. I'm gonna do my peace scars. All right. So I had a friend once ask me, why do some of my scars resemble my smile? And to be honest, I never noticed. I was always so focused on stopping my bleeding. My old lover taught me how to take each drop, paint these lips to stick to each corner of my face. He preferred me that way. That's why it's so serious. Using my smile to hide away his insecurities from his friends and his family, he told me. I remind him of a place in his life where he once felt safe, had the nerve to call me his church, where his love was all types of corrupt, his temple. When we figured out how to turn these tables before we had to flip them, this man would lay hands on me as he prayed on me, saying I was ungrateful to not feel safe with how he prays for me. And I never understood how I had time to think of this word safe when I was always so busy entertaining his demons every time. I tried to leave. Stockholm Syndrome found time to pay me a visit. This love went from blessing to burden. Paradise now spelled out like persecution. God-fearing woman I am, told not to allow others to put fear in this fragile heart, the same heart that just never deserved to be touched by his hands. But y'all, this man's grip was something else, leading me to the path of destruction. I swear I'd rather it been depression because for once I know I deserve to be held down by something else. This man would love me into the ground, plotting on my existence, dropping all of his dirt on top of my lungs. So I had to ask my friend, did she know? One trauma response to abuse is trouble breathing. All this pressure on top of your chest, trouble finding your own voice, trouble speaking. So no, I haven't noticed. I was too busy listening to my inner child screaming for me to get up out of a grave, too premature for my body, and now I don't notice because my tears no longer taste like fear. They taste like freedom. Oh, thank you.
Y'all, come on now. Y'all in
Mm-hmm.
the chat. I'm opening this up to y'all. Anybody got some questions for Sincerely Alf tonight? Any questions? Anything
Oh,
y'all
yeah, I
want to
got a
know about her?
question.
Anything y'all want to know what's coming up? Was
Thank you.
anything that was woo, no, I'm giving them some
Appreciate
time. I'm giving them some time. But okay, let's talk about this. For that poem, where did that poem come from within you? Like, where did that
Um,
derive from?
um, um, I wrote that poem for it was domestic like domestic violence like survivor type situation.
Okay.
I wrote it about my ex. Well, I mean, most of my poems be about like it's not about somebody, but experience from the situation with my ex or whatever. So when I wrote it, I just felt like a lot of times, well, I mean, honestly, I like metaphors and stuff like that, but a lot of times, like people don't know what is like really behind your smile. And I felt like with that poem, like as poets we always compare scars and smiles. I mean, I do, that's
Mhm.
something like I do in poetry. But I just wrote it as like a freedom piece, like to just like remind you that like no matter what you go through, like you can overcome things. And at the end of it, like even when I say these tears no longer taste like fear, they taste like freedom. Like it's just like something I wrote about. Like that's something I went through, but like I don't dwell on it as much as I used to be. But even at the end, when I say you got to get up of a grave too premature for your body, it's just sometimes you got to know when to leave situations and just choose yourself, choose your life, and everything else. So yeah, that's based on that situation. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like
This is what I felt for me when you say the like the weight of the grave on your chest. Like that's
Mhm.
I think that's sometimes what makes it hard. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
it's a weight, and sometimes
Yeah,
that weight is hard to lift off. That's just for me. But
yeah,
that's where for me where it kind of like yeah, you're right. Like that's heavy. That can be
yeah.
heavy. You got to let go of it. You got to let it go.
Yeah, and Stockholm
Mhm.
syndrome, to be honest, like Stockholm syndrome is like a real thing. And I do feel like a lot of times people, especially like in poetry, it's very much like sometimes it's like very much F love, but then sometimes you just can't leave. Sometimes you can't leave. Sometimes you can't leave certain situations. Sometimes you stuck.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just in the black community we wasn't really taught to address certain
Right,
emotions and stuff.
right.
And,
You
a
still
lot of us
get
got inner child issues and daddy issues and stuff. So we find ourselves in situations that we know our mama want to be proud of. So
yeah.
usually, if I do write about experiences like that in my poetry, it is something like they always end with like, you need to get the hell up and go.
There you go.
Yeah. Because like after a while, it's not worth your life. It's not worth anything for real. It's not worth nothing.
Right.
So, oh.
Okay, so we have a couple questions. First, do you have a YouTube?
I don't have a YouTube, but I need to get a YouTube.
You so
Somebody asked me
okay.
the other
So you need an
day.
ebook. You need your book in ebook, and you need a
I
YouTube.
need
All right, write that
an
down. So
ebook. And yeah, I need an
have you
ebook,
thought about? Have
and I
you thought about
need
you and Ace?
yeah
Have
a
y'all thought about
YouTube.
doing like podcasting or anything?
Actually, I wanted to. So, all right. So, my Rhymes and Rotations LLC, that LLC that I do my other shows under, originally that was gonna be a podcast, and I just turned. It was gonna be a podcast, like James Corden does carpool karaoke. I was gonna just have poets and music artists drive around in my car and just do poems like and stuff like just chat and just do poetry and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's why it's rhymes in rotation because you drive around wheels rotating
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But then also like I just took it and double entendre it because rhymes are always in like as being a poet, your words are always moving, constantly rotating and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but so that's why I did the rhymes in rotation. Well, I'm sorry. I
It's all
got
right.
that.
I had
Yes,
that
that's why I
earlier.
did lines rotation. But as far as my bucket list, I want to do slam more. Like I just not and not just for like anything. I really just want to slam more. As far as like to move, like for my personal growth, as far as like moving. Like people always tell me they love my cadence, but I look at like people that like I looked up to in poetry, and I see how they like the words come alive with each movement they do. So
Mhm.
that's the reason. So I want to go to slam more. My bucket list. I do want to try to go to different states outside of the tri-state. Um, like go down south, maybe, somewhere else, like on the West Coast, maybe just somewhere like Texas. I do want to go to Texas. I do want to go to Texas at some point this year
Yeah.
to like
Okay.
try to go to wine poetry, just to like experience stuff like that. I just want to do that. And I plan on trying to drop. Well, I'm going to drop. You got to speak it to existence. I'm going to publish my second book this year.
All right. Yeah, because I saw you
Yeah.
post that. You
You
on?
saw
All
me. I
right,
was
get
trying.
on that.
I
I
was trying. I
saw
was like,
that. The second book.
lift yourself up,
Ooh.
girl. Lift yourself up. I'm going to publish my second book
Okay.
this year.
Yes, you're
So
going
yeah.
to. Okay.
And just the open mic and stuff. Just touch more. I really want to teach children, but I don't know how. But I want to teach kids poetry. But I'll figure it out.
So we gonna be in touch because what you said about the rotation in the poetry, there's a lot of
Hmm.
people thinking about that, and it would be
Hmm.
dope just planning trips with other poets. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like
keep
jump
that,
in.
keep that, yeah,
Can we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Get in the car, get in a van. Just yes, yes, yes. You
Yeah.
got to do that. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not 2025, start thinking and put it in so 2026 it'd be like.
Because I think people even, and I feel like it's sometimes things do get overly saturated. Like it's enough for everybody, but I just feel like it's iron do sharpen iron. But you gotta expose yourself to new
Mhm.
environments and new faces and new places too,
Yes.
also to keep your iron sharper. Because sometimes they don't be dull. Y'all just
You used to your
yeah,
own, but when you go somewhere else, that's where it's like, oh shoot, and
yeah,
you get to experience theirs, and you get to, share yours. So that that is a very good thing. I would think the opportunities, the
yeah.
expansion,
Opportunity, expansion, growth.
expansion,
The
the
growth
growth.
matters.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, so our time is up. Oh, I enjoyed this. Oh, listen,
Enjoyed it.
1, 2, and 3. My third episode. I am heavy. It was fire.
It was fire. I had
Woo-hoo.
fun. I like the games. I'm about to start playing those games with people too.
Yes,
I'm
just
about to
word
start.
association is
Yeah,
is a good thing. And it helps you feel out people what they're thinking.
yeah.
So I like that
Yeah.
game.
I
And then you just
appreciate you,
with
Cam. I
the
appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate you.
So
I
much.
appreciate you. That's why I had to ask.
Yeah.
Ace is there. I would like Ace to come on at some point too, but we gonna. No.
Sorry, I can't talk now. It's not about this. Like, I was like,
He
I
said, I
can't
don't do
talk.
games though. I don't do games.
I was like, I phoned him.
You
I phoned him. But,
phoned him, so now he got to play the game himself. Let's see how he do on his own.
Yeah, right.
All right. So
Just-
again, before we leave, just announce everything that you have coming up, so everybody can know what you got on the horizon.
Okay, so February 27th, I have Poetry Unleashed where me and Just Ace host that. And the flyers on my page,
Oh yeah.
information's on my page.
Where we follow you?
March.
Where we follow you?
Oh, follow me at
Yes.
poetic aptitude underscore APTITUDE underscore poetic aptitude.
Okay.
Also so I have that March 29th is brunch and bars, and then I have Poetry and Friends Affair April 19th for Poetry Month, and that lineup is all queens. It's like the queens of poetry. So yeah,
Ooh, that
yeah, so I
sounds
got
like
the
you gonna be
queens of
dope.
poetry in
All
my,
right.
so
All
my a
right. That's
version
in
of
March.
yeah, that no, that's April. That's April
April.
19th. March
April.
29th is yeah.
A-
Yeah. But
April
still,
19th. So we have time. Follow her.
follow me.
Get this information. I want all y'all there. I'm gonna make my efforts because I haven't been, but I'm gonna make my efforts. That's why I'm doing this. I need to get out. I need to get outside.
Come
Like really
outside,
outside.
Cam.
Not
Come
my own little house,
outside.
but really outside, okay?
Come
And
outside.
we're gonna see everybody else on the throne next week. I have Kenny KP is gonna be here next week. So we're gonna see how he doing, what he doing,
Mm-hmm.
and how all right. So thank you again. And I will be talking to you. Thank you everybody else that tuned in, that came in and to see the interview. I hope y'all enjoyed.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.